Chapter 68. No Plan for Success.
It was all a big mistake. A shipment of pocket watches arrived at the train station addressed to a jeweler in Redwood Falls. The startled jeweler told the young railway agent that he never ordered the watches and refused to pay for them. The young railway agent, Richard Sears, decided to purchase the shipment of watches himself. Evidently there was something magical about that shipment. Whoever accepted those watches was destined and fated to become rich. Either that, or a lowly railway agent named Richard Sears saw opportunity where others saw only problems. The following year, Richard Sears moved to Chicago and ran an ad in the Chicago Daily News. Wanted. Watchmaker with reference, who can furnish tools. State age, experience, and salary desired. Address, T39, Daily News. An Indiana lad, Alva Roebuck, answered the ad, never suspecting it to be the luckiest day of his life. Sears made him a partner, and Sears, Roebuck & Company was born. Like the jeweler in Redwood Falls, however, Roebuck had little need for adventure and resigned from the company just a few years after responding to the classified ad. Alva Roebuck and the jeweler from Redwood Falls each had a plan for success, and the dreams of Richard Sears had no place in those plans. The jeweler was a jeweler. He didn't order any watches. Watches had no place in his plan. Send the watches back. Roebuck was a watchmaker. His plan was to fix watches. Roebuck's plan had no place for a mail-order company, so he briskly stepped away. Richard Sears was a lowly railway agent who had no plan for watches, no plan for a direct mail company, no plan for success at all. Richard Sears' only plan was to seek opportunities where others had found only problems. Sears would find a need, then fill it. The cliff is high, but the view is beautiful. Will you walk near the edge with Richard Sears, or will you settle for a postcard from the tourist shop? If you choose to get in line for the postcard, buy a couple extra and send them to Alva Roebuck and the jeweler in Redwood Falls. Write, "Having a great time. Wish you were here." And sign it, Richard Sears.
Great opportunities come to all, but many do not know they've met them. The only preparation to take advantage of them is single fidelity to watch what each day brings. Albert E. Dunning.
Part 3. Turning Dreams into Realities. Chapter 69. Congratulations, you won the lottery.
Lincoln, Nebraska. Valencia Mueller stops at Wagner's Food Pride and buys a single lottery ticket. She wins. "I had trouble catching my breath," she says. "This only happens in dreams or in the movies, not in real life." I think she overreacted. Even if Valencia Mueller had won the ultimate payoff against odds of 54,979,155 to 1, it would have been no big deal, because Valencia had already won a much bigger lottery against much greater odds. Valencia Mueller had been born. I asked Ryan J. Sokol of the Statistics Department at Texas A&M University to calculate the odds of a specific individual being born. Ryan estimated the total number of fertile men and women in the world, calculated the number of different genetic possibilities a man might contribute, adjusted for the number of hours of female fertility each month, then factored in a long list of other considerations. The bottom line of Ryan's lengthy report to me said, "The chance that you, meaning exactly you, would ever be born are 1 in 1.3 times 10 to the 29th power. You and I, my friend, are two incredibly, amazingly, unbelievably lucky people. We both won the genetic lottery. Compared with the odds of being born, the odds are very good that you will be elected President of the United States. Those odds are only 115,191,743 to 1. You have already won a lottery more amazing than humankind could ever devise. You have already been awarded a prize far richer than anything the world has to give. You are alive. You are here. Make the most of it.
The finger of God never leaves identical fingerprints. Stanislaus Lech.
Chapter 70. Run with the big dogs?
The power of atomic energy fades to insignificance when you've seen what I've seen. Nuclear vision with a V is a power more awesome than nuclear fission with an F. Nuclear vision is a force that allows ordinary people to accomplish the impossible. A leader who radiates nuclear vision makes the people around him radioactive. John F. Kennedy showed us nuclear vision when he said, "I'm going to put a man on the moon. Do you want to help?" The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. shared his nuclear vision from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, where he shouted, "I have a dream!" And the nation became radioactive with that dream. The men who sailed with Columbus were willing to risk falling off the edge of the world because of Columbus' nuclear vision of a round earth. Kennedy, King, and Columbus were all leaders with vision. When undertaking any endeavor, vision is the ability to see the end from the beginning, and leadership is the ability to communicate that vision to the people around you, to accurately describe what you sincerely believe will happen. Visionary leadership is not a matter of genius, it's a matter of courage. Being a visionary leader requires that you risk the ridicule of others. You risk becoming a laughingstock. You risk being ignored. If a visionary leader, such as Kennedy or King or Columbus, knew what you know and had your job, what do you think he would do? Do it. Share with the people around you the secret dream you carry. Risk the ridicule of those who say it can't be done. Risk being wrong. The people who get radioactive will sail with you to the edge of the world. Christopher Columbus asked men to sail west to find the east with him. JFK asked men to fly where there was no air. Following in the footsteps of his namesake, Martin Luther King, Jr., challenged the status quo by denouncing practices that were unacceptable. Bicycle mechanic Wilbur Wright, retail merchant Richard Sears, abolitionist author Harriet Beecher Stowe, car builder Henry Ford, and women's suffragist Susan B. Anthony each dreamed of doing the impossible. And with nuclear vision, they accomplished it. Will you run with these big dogs, or will you stay on the porch? The choice is yours. The world has only players and spectators. Which are you?
All men dream, but not equally. They who dream by night in the dark recesses of their minds wake in the day to find that it is vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous people, for they act out their dreams with open eyes to make them possible. T.E. Lawrence.
Chapter 71. Ted and the Redhead of 1886.
New York City, 1886. As dock workers unload crates containing the Statue of Liberty, a young railway agent named Richard Sears is launching the company that will bring catalog shopping to America. In Atlanta, Georgia, John Pemberton is mixing his first batch of Coca-Cola, and across the water, Gottlieb Daimler is tightening the last bolt on the world's first automobile. Cars, catalogs, Coca-Cola, and the Statue of Liberty simultaneously come into existence in 1886. But what is the year's big news? According to Manufacturer and Builder, the leading monthly journal of innovation and change, the big news in New York isn't the Statue of Liberty, but the scandal over the proliferation of overhead electric lines. Among the most important discoveries chronicled in the journal this year is a new way to color bricks red. The leaders of American industry are blind to the changes happening all around them. But not so the people. America in 1886 is like a girl in adolescence, old enough to see glimpses of the woman she will become, and anxious to complete the transformation. Her parents, the wealthy aristocrats who rule her 38 states, are completely unprepared for the strong will of this red-headed teenage daughter. The girl called America can't understand why the poor seem to have no rights. She's troubled by the fact that women have no vote, and she believes blacks deserve the same respect as whites. America in 1886 is a whirlwind redhead in need of a boyfriend who can keep up with her. She finds him in Teddy Roosevelt. America falls in love with Teddy the moment she hears him say, "When they call the roll in the Senate, the senators do not know whether to answer present or not guilty." Teddy is a renegade Republican. His is the party of the rich, but Teddy is a man of the people. Teddy says to them, "The government is us. We are the government, you and I." When the Republicans become fearful of Teddy's wild ideas and his popularity among the commoners, they decide to bury him in the ultimate political grave. They make him the vice presidential running mate to stick-in-the-mud McKinley. Shortly after the pair are elected, McKinley is assassinated. Teddy the Rough Rider is now President of the United States, and America loves it. Immediately upon taking office, Teddy invites Booker T. Washington to dinner in the White House, and white rage is ignited across the South. Teddy says, "If I have erred, I err in company with Abraham Lincoln." With a smile that makes you feel he must have the teeth of a walrus, Teddy continues, "I'm only an average man, but by George, I work harder at it than the average man." When America was born in 1776, only rich, white males were allowed any hope. Then a mischievous cowboy swept America off her feet, and the land between Mexico and Canada has never been the same.
Democracy is based upon the conviction that there are extraordinary possibilities in ordinary people. Harry Emerson Fosdick.